Hey everybody, Matt here from Matt's Movies, Music and More, welcoming you to this week's movie review. The movie I'm going to be talking about today is the 1988 movie Johnny Be Good. I suppose, yes, a random choice. This movie was directed by Bud Smith and it stars in the leads MacMichael Hall, Robert Downey Jr. and features in her acting debut Thurman. The movie itself is a weird one because I remember seeing the cover in video and DVD shelves in probably the early 2000s when DVDs started coming out, and I distinctly remember seeing the cover and thinking, oh, this must be a movie about like maybe two guys that are friends that are fighting over the same girl, getting her affection or whatever like that. But it turns out it's completely wrong, which surprised me because this movie is actually completely different. This movie is all about Johnny Walker. Yes, that's his real name. Johnny Walker is a quarterback at his high school, and basically his friend Leo, who's played by Robert Downey Jr., is kind of like the comic relief for the film. And Johnny has just helped this high school win the major game, so they've done very, very well in the competition. And at the moment, because he's the hot property in the football world, he is waiting now to see if he can get the best deal so that he can go to another university and do the quarterback there. And obviously they probably want to pay him in money and girls and cars and all that, all the stuff that young boys dream of. So basically he goes to his girlfriend and he's like, well, I'm holding out to see which university will give me the best offer because obviously I want to try and get as much as I can. And she had her hopes on going to the same university, you know, with her. That's what she wanted. And Leo is saying to Johnny all the time, like, oh, why don't you wait out for the best deals as well? And his coach, who's played by the brilliantly underrated Paul Gleason, which is actually hilarious because obviously linking the Breakfast Club actors again, him and MacMichael Hall were both in the Breakfast Club together. And he plays the coach of the high school team, and apparently he is in constant cahoots with the person who runs another university, and he's given him assurances that Johnny will go to their university to play football and stuff like that. And obviously as part of that deal, he would then get a job as the head coach, Paul Gleason's character, whose name I believe is Wayne. So what happens in the movie is obviously while he's being touted for potential universities to go to, obviously he's getting into the temptation of living this life in the fast lane kind of lifestyle, such as hanging out with other sought after sports players, and Johnny being the quarterback is obviously the most focused player, whereas in the area that he's from, you have a pretty quiet, idyllic sort of community where he's from. I can't even remember where he's from. I think it might be... I can't remember actually. It really puzzles me. I'm a bit unprepared. I'm sorry about this. But in the movie, as he's getting more and more interested in the excesses of being in demand, it's driving his girlfriend away, and it's also driving some of his family members away from him. So the whole movie is kind of like, what is Johnny going to do? Is he going to do the right thing for himself, which is getting all the money and the cars and the girls and the perfect university, or is he going to do it for the people that he cares about, his family, his girlfriend and other people? Now, that's what you have to see, and it's a generic 80s movie the way that this film is done. So what surprised me with this film is the fact that the poster is so misleading, because I just thought it was a boy, you know, but two friends that obviously were fighting for the same girl. That's what I assumed this movie was about, but obviously that's not the case. And it really misrepresents what the movie's actually about. But I was really shocked with how many good actors are actually in this movie, and yet it's a film that really underperformed. In fact, probably if you were to talk to Robert Downey Jr. and Thurman now about this movie, they'd probably want to completely forget it even happened, because obviously it just did nothing. The reviews for it at the time were pretty awful. But the fact that the actors are so good is you've got people like Steve James, who is classic actor who's been around in like the Avenging Force with Michael Dudikoff, and he was in The Exterminator and a few other exploitation movies. Very underrated actor. And Seymour Cassell, who plays the dean at another university. And you've got Jennifer Tilly, who plays Paul Gleason's girlfriend in the film, and she has that quirky voice which she always has had by the looks of it, because this is obviously one of her early films. But it's really, really weird, because you just watch it and you just think, what is really the point of this movie? It's nothing like you expect. With the poster being so misleading as it is, it just seems really disappointing. And I'll be honest, I don't want to criticise a movie, but it really doesn't have repeat value viewing for me. And I'm glad I've seen it, because I've wanted to see it for such a long time, and I picked it especially to watch for this video. But I was really disappointed, actually. I think the acting was great. I just think the movie itself was there. That's probably the best answer I can give. There. So, yeah, it's a bit of a disappointing video today, I'm afraid, guys. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Johnny Be Good is available to buy on DVD, and it's probably available to download or stream from numerous streaming sites. But again, that's all I can really say about Johnny Be Good. So be sure to check my next video when it goes on, and don't forget to put a like and subscribe, and find out on the official Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, and the YouTube channel, of course. I'm trying to keep you guys in the loop as much as I can. Fingers crossed you tell your friends and everything. We do have a Patreon site, which hopefully, if I get better at this, hopefully I can get the funding that, you know, you guys can help suggest some ideas, and, you know, you'll get rewarded for it. I trust, you know, trust me, you'll get rewarded with great incentives, I hope, down the line. So again, thank you very much, and all the best. See you very soon.